Hi, I'm Cordelia, and this is the introductory module for the course Amazon Listings Demystified: How to Increase Sales with Optimized Listings. Why is our course different? Our course is different because it's data driven. So you can test everything we teach you in the class to see if it actually works, and we show you how to do that testing. So it's not a theoretical thing. It's not a theoretical concept, and it's all stuff that we've tested. And like I said, we show you exactly how to test it. We also have what we call the lab, which is our Facebook group. Why do we have a lab? Because the course content updates. Amazon changes how they read listings. And so we change the course. As a team of people all working together, we have the unique ability to help each other understand as the algorithm updates, since Amazon doesn't tell us any of this. So in the group, we have everything from just regular questions like, how do you do this? Or I didn't understand that, to, oh, Amazon just changed this, or this is updated. And so we do periodically update the class itself, but we're also always getting updates in the group. And it's a real chance to use the hive mind, the team mind, for us all to write better listings that sell more. Why should you take the time to learn a new technique? And this new technique, it will take you time. The first listing I wrote, after being a very competent listing writer, took me over 6 hours. Now I can breeze right through it, but the concepts are challenging and it takes you time. Why should you bother doing that? Well, the bottom line is it can increase your sales. When your listings get found by the algorithm, by the computer system that is Amazon, they show up more in organic results, they work better with pay-per-click, everything just functions better. Now, of course, there's no guarantee. We can't sell a bad product with a great listing, but you can test and know exactly how functional your listing is. We will show you exactly how to do that, how to write it and test it so that you know exactly what's happening with your listing. So that's why it's important to take the time to learn this new technique. Indexing is when a word is registered in like the computer system of Amazon. So how does Amazon know what your product is? Well, some of it's with artificial intelligence, and some of it's with just understanding the words in your listing. And there's a very specific way that that is done. It's a computer system. There are rules. And so we've done our best through extensive testing to figure out what those rules are and teach them to you. This isn't like a trick. It's really just understanding the way the computer works and then creating listings that work in concert with that to the best of their ability. A lot of people say they want their listing optimized, but they don't really understand what that means. It's a complex process. Optimization has to be human friendly. When a person looks at your listing, they have to like it. They have to look at the picture and look at the words and be like, yes, I want to buy that thing. We teach you how to do that in this class. Some of the things that help with that: appealing images, descriptions, and content. And of course, a product that people actually want to buy. You also want your listing to come up in a search for people who are looking for your product. So if people are looking for a romantic candle for their holiday dinner or their special night out, and your anti-mosquito candle comes up, probably not going to buy it because they don't want to keep the mosquitoes away unless their romantic dinner happens to be outside. So you want your listing to show up to your customer, to your potential customer. And that's another form of optimization. So it's human friendly, it's customer oriented. You want to go to the right person who's buying what you're selling. And it has to be computer friendly. Amazon has a very complex system that they use to decide which listings show and how they rank and what this listing is. And that is a computer system with rules. And so your listing has to do its best to fulfill the promise of those rules, to follow those rules so that the computer knows what it is and when to show it to the customer. So the first step in optimization is a really good, strong listing. That is just the first step. You could have a great listing and you still might need to work on other product launch methodologies. It doesn't guarantee you page 1 ranking. It's just helpful. And it is important. You won't have an optimized listing if you don't have a good listing. The ultimate goal is always conversion. We want to sell our products. So there's a whole puzzle of things that makes that happen, whether it's pay-per-click, off Amazon marketing, giveaways, reviews, and more. And so the listing is one step in this complex puzzle. And our students have had really good results from just working on their listings. So what is indexing versus ranking? Indexing, there's no guessing. You can verify. So indexing is if a word or phrase registers with the Amazon system, and you can test it using search. Usually it's the listing owner only whose words index. There are exceptions to that, which we cover in the class. But bottom line is indexing is very testable. But you can index for all your phrases and words and still come up on the 5th page of search results. The order of search results, the organic, is based on a lot of factors. But ranking is where every product in Amazon has a rank, number 1 bestseller is the best, and then it goes up from there. And this is calculated based on a complex set of factors, including sales, actual customer behavior, predicted customer behavior, pay-per-click, the seller's rating, seasonality, and then maybe fairies. We don't know. So as much as all the experts will tell you they have the secret to getting your thing listed on the 1st page of search results, and there are things that can work for that. But at the end of the day, we're all trying to figure out what the rules are in a system that nobody's explaining us the rules. So ranking is the system where everything is ranked from 1 to 50 million on Amazon. And we all want our products to come up near the top, so they're shown to the customer that wants to buy them, so they sell. So indexing is the process of registering with the system. Ranking is the process of showing up in search in a particular order. And they are related, but not the same. So to test indexing, you can put in the ASIN for a product, which is the Amazon Unique Identifier. And then you can put in the words that you want to test. So for example, we have an ASIN here we're going to test with recycled green truck. And when we do that, now I'm using a listing that's already on Amazon as an example. So for this particular ASIN, which is for a truck made out of recycled plastic by Green Toys, this listing indexes for the term green recycled truck. And you could put these terms in any order and it would index. But guess what? This truck by Tonka does not index for the word construction. So it's a dump truck that doesn't register for the word construction. It does register for dump truck, but they didn't put the word construction in their listing, and so they're losing sales from that. So that toy has a rank of 6,000 in toys, and that could actually be even better. They would get more sales, more people would find them if they did a better job with their listing. So improving your listing isn't always about launch. It's not always about turning from 0 to 100. Sometimes it's about taking a product that's already selling and improving those sales, doubling them, tripling. That has happened to people in this class where their sales on a listing have doubled or tripled simply from rewriting it. So let me tell you a little bit about me. My name is Cordelia. I started working in e-commerce in 2011, and I started my own business in 2013. I was working, and I continue to work flexibly from home while I'm raising my children. You can see they've grown a lot from the pictures. I've done a lot of different things. I actually started out with wholesale, and then I moved into arbitrage. I've imported, I've done private label. I sell a lot of bundles, and I've also sold print-on-demand products such as books and apparel. Bundles has probably been my most successful thing that I've sold. But I love selling all different things and figuring out customer niches and understanding how to provide cool products. I have a background as an educator. I was raised by teachers and I used to work in corporate education. So kind of as soon as I learned how to do e-commerce, I started teaching it because I just really love teaching. So as much as I love selling, I really love teaching, which is part of why I devote so much time and energy to it. I currently sell RA and wholesale bundles, some private label products. I have a business partner. I do consulting with private companies on their e-commerce strategy. And then I also coach other sellers and run our organization, Scanner Society, which is an e-commerce chamber of commerce. And then I host an online show for thousands of viewers, which is both educational, and we do interviews and just show people the possibilities and teach people specific strategies. So I've had a lot of lessons learned. I've had products that didn't sell. I've had products that sold as soon as I listed them. I learned that working by myself was not a good thing for me. I work better with partners than employees. So I have 2 business partners in 2 different businesses. And I've had a lot of business reboots and reinvents over the last 6 years, and I expect I'll probably have more in the future. And that is one of the great things about working for yourself and working in e-commerce is it's always changing, and there are always new and exciting ways to grow. And I love that about working in e-commerce. So that is a little bit about me. Now, who else developed this class? Actually, Alex is the heartbeat of the class. Alex Howard, he started selling online as part of his mother's company. When he was a teenager, he started working there and she had to fire him. But he came back and he joined the business successfully in 2010 when they were doing 100% RA. Their business grew. They started transitioning to wholesale. They actually have now a 7,000 square foot warehouse outside of Atlanta. And while he was working in this business for his mother, he started studying programming. And he realized that the Amazon listings knowledge that he learned from the classes he took and what he was doing, it didn't really add up. He understood that the computers of Amazon were that. They were computers with rules. And so he set out to figure out what those rules were so that he could write more optimized listings for their business. And then he decided to share that knowledge with us. His sales, their company sales went up by 50% when all their listings were rewritten. And he is in our group to answer your questions, and he is in our monthly Q&A shows. He is highly technical in his knowledge and just very generous and helpful with his time. So as I said, one of his lessons learned is that he had to grow up a little bit so he could be in business, but now he's done that for sure. And their whole business literally burned to the ground in 2014. Their warehouse went up in flames and they lost everything. They lost the building. They lost all their inventory. They did have a good insurance plan, but they had to rebuild their whole business from nothing. And they've done that. They moved from RA. They're now 100% wholesale bundles and wholesale. And they have a very successful business. So who's our listing demystified dream team? Well, Alex and I are part of the team, but the other really essential part of our team is you. So the class works partially because of all the stuff we've figured out, but partially because we now have a group of over 100 sellers that are all working on listings all the time. They're writing new listings. They're seeing all the things that Amazon keeps changing. And so we have like a team approach. So somebody will say, oh, the character limit just changed. On titles, it's not 80 characters, it's 180. Or, we had the keywords change where you could only go to 249 characters instead of 250. We've had a lot of other changes just in the year we've been doing this. Some of them are temporary and some of them are permanent, but our team, our dream team, works together. And so you as a student in this class, you're part of the dream team. In the class, you will learn how to write good listings. This is for people who've never written a listing before. We teach you all the basics of copywriting and just how to write a listing, to writing a more, if you're an experienced listing writer, you can learn the more technical, like algorithm-friendly parts of the class and just review the basics. So it covers the whole breadth of listers. And I promise you, we have students in this class who've never written a listing, who've learned how to do it from scratch. And we have students who came in like experienced listing writers who their sales doubled and tripled from just learning the techniques that we teach. You're going to learn how to know when is it okay to duplicate words and when is it mess everything up. And there are times when it does both. So we show you exactly what that is. You're going to understand the hierarchy of updating listings when there's multiple sellers. You're going to learn about variations and how they index differently than listings without variations. You're going to learn how to spot exceptions to the rule. You're going to learn how to test so that as the rules change, we can all keep each other up to date. And in addition to instruction, I have a series of over-the-shoulder videos where I actually show you every step of the process. So I show you how to do it, and then I actually do it so you can actually see it and be a part of it. We also have a monthly Q&A in the group so that you can get your current questions answered. But the biggest thing you're going to learn how to do is how to increase your sales and how to write really effective listings. Beware, learning anything new takes time. This class will take time, not just the time to watch all the modules and the demo videos, but to actually implement and write new listings. My first listing took me over 6 hours. There's a lot of information crammed into this class. You will have lifetime access to it and the updates as well, but you definitely have to watch the videos and practice them because it's challenging. It's not impossible, but it is challenging. And rewriting can be time consuming. We have sellers who have hundreds of listings that they have rewritten over time, and it has increased their sales, but obviously it takes time to do that. So just beware, this is not like a magic solution that we're selling you that you're going to take this class and then you're magically going to triple your sales. You have to work at it. You have to understand how this fits into the total picture of optimization. But we have had so many of our members, myself included, who have just seen sales increase just from learning how to write better listings. So let me share with you some of our happy campers. So Alex, who created the class, I told you that they had their sales increase overall by 50%, but he gave a few specific examples of one product that went from 5 sales per month to 60 sales a month. Another product that just went from 50 to 62, and his conversion rate increased from 5 to 15% and 8 to 25%. So that's just a couple of specific examples of how his sales increased. One of our students, Sarah, talks about how she now has confidence. All the light items she's listed using this method have started to sell shortly after going live. One of her items even received a #1 new release badge. Kristen Ostrander had sales increase within 15 minutes of rewriting her first listing. Now she joined us early on in 2018. So since then, she's gone on, she leads her own community called Mommy Income to promote this class to her community because she's had such good results over time. So it's an amazing system. It just teaches you how to do listings. Michelle Butler says the class has been very beneficial for her business. She does a lot of bundles. She writes a lot of listings. And now it's easier for her to write compelling listings. She's improved the rank on her current listings, and they have all become fully indexed. She recommends the class. Debbie talks about how She is learning how having higher quality listings is more important than having higher a quantity of listings. It's really enlightened her how the algorithms work, and being in the group has really helped her stay up to date. And then Marie talks about how the content is very easy to follow in the class. It's logical and there's a good sequence to it. So I worked hard to make that happen. So if you have suggestions, we're always happy to hear them. But the class will teach you the process from start to finish. So we are going to learn in the course listing basics. We're going to learn how to master indexing, what to do about variations, what to do about multiple sellers, and so much more. If you are already registered in the class, at this point, you can just go ahead and click onto Module 1 and get started. If you have not registered, please go to scannersociety.com/classes and sign up today. Thank you so much.